What's going on, everybody? Brett here, and we're back with my YouTube channel, Good Talk Gaming. Today, I don't even know, I don't even know what I'm looking at, to be real with you. We've got dev blog number 122, the Irijok. I'm not 100% on that pronunciation, but I'm going to go with Irijok. That sounds kind of cool. And I'm assuming this is an Irijok, because I'm seeing this picture. Yeah, let's get into it. I don't know anything about this, so let's read. Aside from new contracts and events, the upcoming Warriors of the North DLC will also introduce two new legendary locations linked in a single quest, leading up to a legendary reward. Today, we'll look at one of the two bosses that you'll have to face along the way. If you don't like to be spoiled about any of that, you may want to skip this dev blog. All others, let's go. So guys, I would probably say the same thing. If you don't want to be spoiled about in-game content, definitely, I guess, turn off the video. Sorry. Uh, I would love for you to watch, but if you don't want to get spoiled, seriously, don't watch, because this definitely seems like it's going to be some sort of amazing, monstrous type boss, and I'm super stoked. And the best thing about this game is being able to look forward to that in-game content, like legendary locations, and knowing that we get two of them is pretty sweet for this upcoming DLC. If you've been watching my playthrough, you've seen me battle the Ratchetgeist and the Kraken, and we've done the Black Monolith. We're heading into the Witch's Hut very soon, so I would love to have more of those types of locations added. It's not even guaranteeing you, I guess, that they're both battles, but it seems like if there's one of two bosses, then there's two legendary locations, and it stands to reason, as far as I'm concerned, that there would be uh, two battle locations. Curious if they're going to add any of the legendary locations that aren't battles, like for instance the ship or the spire that reveals the area, or the graveyard of the Unhold. That would also be very cool. But let's read about the Irijok. Okay. The Irijok is a mystical or mythical creature of the north, folklore of the barbarian folk. It's called the Beast of Winter, for it is said that it first carried the cold into this world on its back. Legend claims the creature to be a shapeshifter and deceiver, appearing in many forms. It abducts children solely to enjoy the pain of the parents. Wow, that's dark. It leads men astray in the white wastes just to watch them go in circles and freeze to death. Some regard it a spirit, some a god, and others a force of nature like the sun or wind, but with found divinity within the aspect of a cool creature. A cruel creature. Not a cool. He is kind of cool, and also cool in the sense that he's probably very cold, but a cruel creature. Whatever its true nature, in the north they all can feel the presence of the Irijok, and they count themselves fortunate that the horrors it brings are scant and passing. I'm very curious if this is part of like German folklore, or, like any kind of European folklore. I'd be very interested to know. But look at that art. That's so creepy. Oh my God, look at this thing. It's very, very kind of demonic looking. It says it's a shapeshifter. I'm curious if it will change shapes during the battles. When your mercenary company finally faces the Irijok in battle, it will appear as a great horned beast with 4 legs and hooves. It's a boss fight, and it will challenge you like fighting the Kraken or the Ratchgeist does. Leading up to the battle, you'll have the opportunity to learn more about the true nature of your opponent by reading events and visiting locations in the game. The Irijok charges you from afar to gore and trample anything in its path. Unlike the charge of other opponents in the game, the great horned beast charging you will inflict damage, but you can defend against it with melee defense like against any other melee attack. Even if your shields prove sturdy and your men are not impaled outright, however, the force of impact may still throw them back and stagger them. Ooh. I wonder what its charge distance is. The orcs, the unhold, they all kind of have their own charges, and their distance is something like 2 to 3 tiles away, and it's pretty predictable. They kind of stop right outside the range and then they charge in. So I'm wondering if you could potentially shield wall this dude. He charges in and maybe you just get staggered, but you don't take the damage. curious. We'll have to find out. On probably going to be another intense boss battle, I have to imagine. So then, at the beginning of each turn, the Irijok will shift into a different world, one where cold and ice reign supreme, only to emerge at a different place and charge you anew. While the great beast enters into and emerges from this other world, cold seeps into ours, turning the ground frozen and changing the battlefield permanently. Anyone near the Irijok will get the new chilled status effect. Okay, so we're learning something new, which will freeze your men's limbs stiff and lowers their initiative and action points for one round. So, I mean, it'll function like poison, I have to imagine. You know, when you get poisoned by the goblins, it messes up your action points. It makes it so, I mean, it's more, I think it more messes with your fatigue. It's hard to remember exactly what it is off the top of my head, but the end result is the same. You cannot take as many actions per turn as you normally otherwise would be able to. So I think you have to anticipate this guy charging you, potentially doing big damage. He may knock you around your nice formation. You know, he'll toss your archers around and mess up your front line. They'll be staggered, and then you might be able to get a few hits off. It probably has an enormous HP pool, and then it like teleportals somewhere else on the battlefield, and it leaves behind, you know, that kind of poison effect, that chill effect. So very interesting. The Irijok is as elusive in combat as it is outside of it, but each round you'll have the chance to wail on it before it charges you from a different angle. Exactly, so that makes sense. Like with fighting Necrosavants, your formation is key in defeating the Beast of Winter, while the world around you slowly turns into a frozen hell. Okay. Alright, I'm not scared. I'm a little scared. So, boy. I mean, if they're comparing this to the Ratchageist and the Kraken, you have to imagine this is going to be a very intense fight. It's kind of fun to fight single entities like this. You don't get an option to do that very much in the game. Even when you fight the Kraken, you know, you're not just fighting the Kraken head, you're fighting recurring tentacles, and it's pretty hard to get into that fight because it takes like 40 minutes to kill tentacles, right? It's not super fun. The Ratchageist, you're killing an army of like these big undead guys, so there's a kind of an element there of, you know, fighting a horde of units. So you don't really get that feeling of you're fighting this one big, monstrous, powerful creature, and it's looking like what we're going to get here in the form of the Irijok. So what a cool update. Um, hoping they don't spoil the second boss. You know, as much as I like to know all the info and have it be awesome, I don't want to be completely spoiled on the upcoming DLC. But guys, thank you for joining me for this news update. Thanks to Overhype Studios for continuing to pump out these awesome dev blogs. Very detailed. You know, they're very insightful. They're giving us the information that they know we want. Little small crumbs of knowledge like this chilled status effect, and they're even helping us, you know, understand the boss better. I mean, it's just every gaming company should do this when they're getting ready to throw out DLC, and I really appreciate them, guys. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. I hope you're looking forward to this DLC as much as I am. It's the Warriors of the North, and who knows when it's coming out, but hopefully soon. But anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.